all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way.
Aha. Good evening and welcome to Context Matters. If you're tuned into Reggae Global Radio and the Reggae Global TV, big up yourself. Big up yourself if you are tuned in on TikTok. And let me tell you something. Blessings to everyone who is on the YouTube, who come here every single week and show support as long as I am live. I appreciate you. Now, this week, a lot of things going on. But I can say this to you. This week, I'm talking about doing the right thing, do the right thing. You should always be doing the right thing, but this is a call to do the right thing. And it's a simple thing. It's principle versus compromise. And compromise in the context of understanding and appreciating that there are persons who will compromise their integrity in the name of not doing the right thing, sacrificing doing the right thing for compromise. And the compromise is turning away from principle, turning away from doing the right thing. Whether it be for self-benefit, whether it be for just basically accepting and breaching moral principles, values, and, according to the term TAG, transparency, accountability, and governance. So on internet, when them on the platforms, they always say tag the person. So they tag you on Instagram, and they tag you on TikTok, and they tag you on X. So that's the acronym TAG: transparency, accountability, and governance. And so tag your leaders and let them know when they're lacking that they're really not governing anything. So I noticed that I would have on many occasions define for many persons what is known as ad hominem. It simply is attacking the person, and that attacking the person is a fallacy in law. Ad hominem. So it's of an argument or reaction, and it is directed against a person rather than the position they are maintaining. So usually what you have is an ad hominem response. So in a way that is directed against a person rather than the position they are maintaining. So what happens then is you introduce facts to people, and I'm taking this opportunity to contextualize, to put things into perspective, because we are talking about principle. So here it is, as everybody knows, we are down to just a couple of days. I'm calling it a couple of days for elections. The Prime Minister, in his glory and superiority and at his convenience and his announcement, will call the election, which I have said, if he doesn't call it by the 29th of July, he's not really doing anything but confirming and sealing his last time as the Prime Minister of this country, and his last opportunity to certainly achieve that goal is to call it on the 29th. Anyway, let it not be said that I'm pressuring him. Did so in 2020 by stopping him from the use of the state of emergency. And here we are again in 2025, and I'm saying July 29th. Now, when you speak facts like that, what the response usually is an ad hominem attack. So they, rather than responding to the issues, people will come and say, yes, who are you to talk about morality? You had 2 convictions. Who are you to talk about morality? This and that. And they will spew lies. They will use red herring and distractions to bring about the attacks. So it relates to or is associated with a particular person, and they therefore will attack the person rather than the issues. For instance, there is not one person with a keyboard or a cell phone that can type that ISAT is incompetent, and anybody in the world would believe that. There's not one person that can say I'm not an educated black man who is certainly has all the sense in the world. Let good sense prevail. There's not one person that can say that when it comes to aptitude, that I lack it. There's not one person that can say that I have not graduated with first class honors from the University of the West Indies, a feat that not many can achieve. And it's not bragging, it's not arrogance, it's a fact. Having said the fact, what people have to do is deflect. For instance, I have, since entering into the political arena, I have been anxious to debate my opponent. I believe that for political representation to be effective, advocacy is important. It's also, debates are an opportunity to allow the voters to get a screenshot, a snapshot, a synopsis of what one candidate is capable of doing as well as the other candidate. I also, if you don't believe me, last year, the president of the United States, Joe Biden, was put in a position to debate the now President Donald Trump. And the debate went horribly wrong for the sitting president. And immediately their party had to remove him and replace him with Kamala Harris, which was their best hope, if at all, for them to retain the presidency. This is significant because if those debates did not happen, then we would not know somebody, that's funny. Yeah, they would not know that the former president had some, age got the best of it. And then comes the ad hominem attacks. So I'm simply demonstrating that in the absence, or because there is no, it appears that I will not be given the opportunity to debate my opponent. Rather, and remember, it's 14 parishes. I'm just putting this out there. It's 14 parishes. Big up, big up, big up. It's 14 parishes in Jamaica, even when they say it's 15 and try to make it 15 and try to break the law, breach the law, and all type of corrupting activities to change the landscape. The reality is, when it comes to constituencies, all 63 of them, it is candidate versus candidate. Let me make this absolutely clear, because there's a lot of persons with low aptitude in the social space. On nomination day, only 2 candidates, and I'm speaking for Portland Eastern, will be on the ballot. Myself and the sitting MP. For those of you who don't know who the sitting MP is Anne Marie Vaz. No one else that is attached to either the Jamaica Labour Party or the People's National Party. That being said, all the bloggers, all the other candidates from other spaces, whether you're the husband, girlfriend, the boyfriend, the friends, the associates, acquaintances, the paid bloggers, the news reporters, the reporters who train voice speech, whatever it is that you do. Whether you have the money and you're a millionaire and you're a supporter, whatever it is, at the end of the day, only two candidates, only two representatives. And it simply means that whatever you have to say, standing in your yard, you're not on the ballot. And it is Rastaman versus Action and simple. Education, opulence, superiority versus race, whiteness, Eurocentric superiority, upper echelons of society, vacation home and villas versus son of the soil, black man, educated. Yeah, let's just be clear on that. So no need to behave like we don't understand that in Jamaica classism represents something. So yes, my opponent is from the upper class, and my opponent is a very rich person with very rich friends who can buy the waterfront and all of the beaches and the Blue Lagoon and Navy Island, and they have that capacity. Where the power lies, though, is within the people like me who have the ambition to want to rescue Jamaica from those who want all, from those who want to take what is rightfully those of persons who of those persons who decide that they believe that Jamaica is for them, versus myself who stand on the constitutional rights and say that Jamaica is for us, by us. And that is what, that's the spirit of the Constitution. You don't believe me? Well, here's a fact. When the entire Ministry of Education, as it then was run by Ruel Reid before he got his corruption scandal, and then in came Samuda at the time, and the Attorney General at the time was Malahoo Ford. And they told a young Rasta girl that she couldn't come to school because dreadlocks have lice. And the whole government, at this time, the decision was Malahoo Ford. She says that little picnic cannot, is not a Rastafarian. She tweeted that, and Jamaica would soon know. And they made no effort to keep that little girl in school. In fact, it was an injunction that kept her going to the school. And at the end of the case, when those who in high places felt that they just don't like Rasta, they rule against it, in the court. And a judge wrote on it to say the constitutional rights wasn't breached. And it was ISAT against the state and the system and the richness of Malahoo Fort at the time, Minister of Constitutional Affairs. And the government defended that the little girl had lice and junjo, and the principal had a right to remove her from the school. That is the us against them. That is the reality, that there are people who believe that people who look like me, and if your skin is too black, it's a problem. And it's not, and remember, it's how people treat you. Even persons who go around with their ideas of opulence. Jamaica is caught between a class system and a race system. And this is just a reality. I am expressing this because what you are faced with right across Jamaica is entitlement versus inclusion. So you would have seen no one take issue. And when I say no one, and these are the bloggers, no one takes issue with a non-black woman, and I can call her name Dalrymple, who is an attorney. She was a former Speaker of the House, and she gave her vehicle concession to our sister so our sister could buy a BMW or a Benz. And she said, oh, I simply forgot. And the Integrity Commission pulled her up. And she was convicted. She pled guilty, and she now has a conviction. It's a conviction. And they don't report it as such. And because it's classism, she's a Dalrymple. She's an uptown class woman who is way in a position to definitely, let me just put it that way, in a position to look at poor people. Just ask Mr. Clark in St. James. He lost his property to her and sought the assistance from the General Legal Counsel, and that matter remains in abeyance. But people are okay with that. People are okay with people like, I don't have to, I'm not going to use ad hominem and attack people. Safe to say that when it comes to the people who they have in a certain class and see them as a good evening, I said, and all, yes, blessings, and see them in the superior class in this country that is called Jamaica. It's the elite class, and the elite class is made up of rich people who their new money is accepted. They fall outside of the 7 families who have been here who just happen to not be white, and then they are different per se from ordinary people like you and myself. But I'm proud to be ordinary, notwithstanding that I am from generational extraordinary human beings, the great James Porteous, the great Big Youth, and son of Joan Porteous. But ordinary in the sense that I understand the Constitution and I understand the importance of humility. I understand that I would never want to be a part of a class of moralless, heartless, mindless people who lack integrity, honesty, and probity. I would never want to be a part of a class of people who would disenfranchise my brothers and sisters. That's the sons and daughters of Jamaica whom are abused by the state, who are put through dehumanizing experiences just to get on part program. For instance, a system that says if you have flushing toilet, you're not poor, knowing that the dollar is at 160 plus and counting, right? And when people who accept poverty, let me tell you, there are people who accept poverty, like Paul the blogger, who says PNP people are okay with Massa Mark and dumpling them FinSac 44,000 small businesses That's a blogger who is paid money to type that, because half the words they type, it was sent in a forwarded message from the war room of the other party. And they put out that information as ad hominem. And here is why. I'm a new candidate, never been in government. Nothing that anybody can speak of in terms of governance, whether before I was born and now, has any bearing or any thought or idea in terms of my ability that cannot be questioned, because I have already proven myself across this nation in terms of being the poor man's defender and standing for justice and principle and no compromise. In fact, you can check my track record. Nobody's child can say I send them to prison. I free them. And when I go to trial, I don't lose. So let's start right there. When you juxtapose that into lawmaking, into policy making, and into ensuring that you uplift people's lives and not tear it down and destroy across the nation, pick a member of parliament and bring their record next to mine, and I promise you, many won't be able to run on achievement. Like this entire Jamaica Labour Party can't run on achievement, because they have achieved nothing, and they've done nothing of significance that any government wouldn't be able to do. You don't believe me? When the People's National Party win this election, they're going to say, we did already cut ribbon for all of these things. It was our ideas. So don't mix up governance, because when things are in the pipeline and it comes to fruition, it's taxpayers' money. Anything that is done is taxpayers' money do it. None of these people, none of these corrupted, wicked thief that sit in government right now, and none of them can sue me, because whoever the cap fit, make them wear it. Man who could not pay student loan have all the biggest house. Man who used to own car lot and a sofa can talk about him one half of the oil where them find in Jamaica. Let me tell you this, none of them. And I can tell you, as the grandson of James Samuel Portius, I know those who used to watch him color TV when them did broke and money, and a politics them get them money from. Every dollar. Me not for call a name, but them sit down and them mad. So yes, Muma morality. All when you time, I wish I could have said time is longer than rope, because your time very, very short, as old as you is. But I know all your deeds. And let us be clear on that. Yeah, she know herself. And those else. I don't even need to use this platform to start the ad hominem attack when one of the most disgusting Negroes that walk this planet, being Warmington, would attack somebody with integrity. No one who lacks integrity can open their mouth about integrity. And if you are unsure, let me explain something to you. Unlike your prime minister, I walk around with a practicing certificate, a good character certificate, and good character is of now. Good character is like baptism. Is you wake up with good character when you are tried, tested, and proven. So you see, don't take it lightly, because when you talk about statutory declarations and the prime minister cannot get his certified, so the contractor general, you get your army to remove her, and you try to cite the constitution that, can you imagine a Warmington reading the constitution? Can you imagine a Desmond McKenzie reading the constitution? Can you imagine mediocre persons with who are lawyers who don't understand the Constitution putting their voice to it and don't know it. Yeah, and I've already stated my position in terms of those on the green side who claim that they know anything about the Constitution. Can you imagine the level? Them like to use the word bad man, and I wouldn't even disrespect people who want to be in the back of the class and call what them is dunce. Can you imagine? And you want to remove the contractor general. Then last week, you remove the requirement. Can you imagine if when you go to the hospital, them say the requirement to have a medical degree, a doctor degree, just come in with your maths and your English and your biology. You don't need no university degree. We'll remove the experience in medical business. Because that's what they do in the parliament. They move the experience of constitutional law and law. When you get a candidate who can barely understand how to read the KFC menu and the Burger King menu, but you send them to make a decision about good governance and practice, and then you want to talk about third term and inclusion for the people, full acceptance, and say to you that is identical to when the first world countries and our forefathers, who they were responsible. I say forefathers, because all of these countries were built by the great United Kingdom, France, and the 5 veto nations. When the people decide that they are freeing us from slavery, and now they tell black people, forget about the 400 plus years of slavery. Forget about it. Move on. Yeah? So you don't put that like that. Yeah? And then when you realize that that is the reality, that is what people are dealing with, you have to sit by yourself and say, what is the object and purpose? What are we trying to achieve for Jamaica? Because I remind people every time, there was a time when the Jamaican dollar was so stronger than the American dollar. And I use the American. Notice me not use a big heavy pound, $217 and counting for 1 pound. Right? You should never, ever think of anything else but where we are now. And people, and then come on the stage and say people will promise you things. And somebody will say, what ISAT can do for you. Yeah? And I can tell you one thing. Those of you, and this is for the people of Portland, you are incarcerated in a land that is being raped. You hear the word I use? Raped by one family. Rape. It's not a word that is foreign to them. You're being raped. The land is being raped by one family. An entire parish is being raped. You hear how much time I said? And that is what I am going to do. Give justice, rescue you from the captivity and rape that is taking place. This is very important for you to understand. And once you appreciate that, just know, yes, see somebody put it there. When they say, what I said can do for you, defend you. Just ask all the people from Monday to Friday that I go into the court and stop them from going to prison. Ask the man up in Mansion Hill who judge was going to send him to prison, and I stopped that. That's what I can do for you. Advocate for you and talk and ensure that you are not reduced to inhumane treatment and facilities. No, leave them here. I'm here to educate them. I am here to educate them. And trust me, that person that calling me a PNP boy, I'm a man. Trust me. No, whoever you is, let me tell you this. If there's a definition of a man in the dictionary, it is Isaac Buchanan. Remember that. Solid as a rock. Verone, I know you was going to smile, you know, I promise. I won't talk about it. But when nobody can't boy me up. Big man. Anyway, let me stop. Don't block nobody. Anyway. Let me tell you something. Let me do you a favor. You find me anywhere there and say that to my face. Tie down upon the internet. Someone has some internet keyboard sissy. Can't deal with that right now. Anyway, but I'm just making it clear. So I'm talking, and I've spoken to labor rights who are embarrassed. And embarrassed because they were tricked. And that is what I want people to understand, that when you get tricked, it is not a good feeling. And I mean, they tell you, trick me once, shame on you, trick me twice, shame on me. So trick me thrice is insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So I want people to appreciate that. So when it comes to comparisons, you must stand on principle. And even I'm always ready to have the conversation, because let me tell you something. It was through the law that I understood the object and purpose of the very law that we speak about. So make no mistake, the law is there for a reason, especially criminal law, to punish, to rehabilitate, to reform, and to reintegrate. There is a process. So let us not conflate the time continuum, the God on time aspect of it. So when somebody says, Isaac, you forfeit your right to be talking about these things, it's actually the opposite. I'm the best person to say to the Prime Minister, when you go to prison, do right and rehabilitate yourself, because there's a limit to the level of corruption. And notice that when it comes to the whole idea of I don't even know how to remove that. Yeah, when it comes to the whole idea of what they call that. Yeah, when it comes to the whole idea of rehabilitation and process, it's a simple thing. And I'm going to remind people. And here's why I'm going to remind people. I went to court last week in St. Anne, and the learned DPP was there. The learned DPP being Paula Llewellyn, King's Counsel, and she sat in benches. And I was doing a matter that some constitutional issues arose, and where cost was there. And the learned DPP stood in the court and made representations on a particular thing. Well, we're not talk everybody business, but the learned DPP, a strong black woman, a forgiving woman who deals with me with the greatest amount of respect. The one human being who, on a platform, I offended, and she has the spirit of forgiveness in her for that offense. And but through that experience, I must tell you, somebody said, really, you see how people can surprise? Because people take on people business and them don't mind them own. That's why them out there and them life in a certain situation and them life crab up. But I just want to say this. I want to say that in her representation, it was heartfelt that senior counsel would speak up. Because I'm still junior, don't make the gray hair fools you. Young at the bar, just bright. And interactions with the learned DPP reminds me of why it is important to fight for your rights. And that is important. But why did I raise that? Because at the time in 2023, I was the human rights chair. I was lecturing at the University of the West Indies. I was doing many things to uplift young black Jamaicans. I always single them out, It's not that the others don't matter, but they don't need the type of defending. The other races don't need the defending like my black brothers and sisters who we have to remind them, wake up, black man. So yes, on a platform, I quoted Vybz Kartel song. And in that song, he made references to, I'm raising it so people understand. And the church came out and Mama Morality, Babsy came out and write a strong letter that leaders, why I'm raising it now, is that leaders, when they do things that is unbecoming, if that is the word, right? They say those you forfeit the right to lead, or you should step aside and let the offensive behavior or the criminal behavior subside and rehabilitate and come again. And one person who joined her was the head of the women's movement and called for my resignation. I never forget it. And that is why standing on principles is important. Because when Patricia Duncan Sutherland, she's the head of the women's movement, says, what you did was offensive and I cannot support you. You must resign. One would sit and think, but why that she PNP and she did this and did that? But she stand on principle. I'm giving you examples of principle. And while I would maintain that I think that the response was not proportionate to the conduct, I took it on my own fruition to say I would not put the party through any umpy-scumpy mix-up and allow nationwide and the other state media to come at the party for my personal conduct. And I resigned because I had a big case and I had to go to the Privy Council, and I resigned and I go to the GSC and I said, listen, I have a big case. You're going to do what you're going to do. I'm black. I'm a Rasta man. No long talking. That's what it is. And I say, oh, yeah, you're black and he's a Rasta man. This bar I want, this bar, take the 2-year suspension. Then I just go to the white people and say, white people in all your glory, those people down there don't like me because I'm black. And I get to stay. But anyway, let's leave that alone. What I'm trying to say is you in the reality is that when you're in a certain position and you're to conduct yourself a certain way, you must have honesty, you must have integrity, you must have probity, but the most importantly, you must have accountability, you must have transparency, you must have empathy and compassion. Right? And you can't stay around and be the bad apple to corrupt. Right? All right, I see somebody keep telling a particular person to come out of the chat. I crave your indulgence. Let me find them and block them. Too disruptive now. Alright, me now find them. So next time. Can't find him. Next time him type, do something. Yeah. Anyway, when it was all said and done, you cannot allow your imperfections, your wickedness, your nastiness, your disgusting, thieving, bad mind, dirty, ring-belling behavior to corrupt the noble men and women around you. In fact, integrity and character is always of now. I can't invite people who don't even have morality to have integrity. They go hand in hand. In fact, I believe that a break in morality is an invitation to compromise integrity. And the morality that we speak of is the greater good for the greater number, a utilitarian concept. And so that's it, Charmaine, you're right. To whom much is given, much is expected. So I don't expect, and I tell you, when Babsy Grange wrote that letter, I said, wow. But she had no comment for George Wright, who beat him woman. No comment. And it's so when you realize that what is expected is when you're not a part of their nasty club, where they can hide the sexual offenses registry because they have sons and daughters and cousins and themselves probably on it and whatever. But to be honest, you have to have a conviction, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm the only person in Jamaica with a conviction. So we know that. But when they don't speak out and they compromise integrity, and I want people to understand this. They compromise integrity because of political mileage and expediency. The desperation for them to remain in government would allow them to sanction a judge, right? And that's morality, domestic violence. Especially when we have that as a problem. So one cannot come out and say what happened to Slickiana, what happened to the little girl in the barrel, what happened to the young, I don't want to call names, because I don't want people feel a certain way, and what happened to the young lady that was found in a couch, and that trial is going on right now. We just have to appreciate and understand that selective morality will be detrimental to the country. And yes, I understand about the presumption of innocence. What cannot be allowed is for people to cover up their wrongs and accept it. So let us talk about it. Two persons, Warmington, and I talk about him, him whole family, they own slaves, because he's a product of the slave trade. So the family Warmington bought him and his family, which is why he's so fixated on it. But anyway, he's a JP with a dirty, nasty mouth, and he was called up on his behavior. Similarly, another JP, Dennis Meadows, made comments, and both leaders, Andrew Holness and Mark Golding, was faced with decisions about the conduct of two grown men who experienced political representation, who won a member of parliament and a government minister. The same one who had called for the removal of the contractor general. Now, why is this important? Because on the one hand, Mark Golden says we take a no-nonsense policy. And he says, Dennis Meadows, as much as it pains me, you have to step aside because we stand on principle. Certain conduct is not allowed and accepted in the moment. So there is room for rehabilitation. There is room for you to wheel and come again. There's space for you to go and prove yourself. What you cannot do is to conduct yourself a certain way and be allowed to stay in the space as if nothing happened and no, you do not find a way to correct those ways. Because if you can't prove the rehabilitation, if you can't get to a space where you're protecting the principles and not compromising for political expediency, it hurts the nation in the long run. So when a Ruel Reid and his daughter and his wife and his friends and Caribbean Maritime, you never hear about that institution too much no more. And the Ministry of Education was raped, completely raped. Yeah, they were raped to the point that the schools were promised tablets and never got them, or the ones that them get them mash up quick because them buy it from them little friend round at the back. And the smart boards don't come, the this and that, and then you have Dora the Explorer, aka Dana, Ministry of Education, whatever. I don't even know what she name. The one with the hairstyle that look nice, and she clearly come from uptown because she talk cute. That one. She is surprised that primary the picnic them can't read. But they said, oh, we're going to have reading classes. We're going to have reading classes 1 hour a day. Like on a school, you go to school for to learn how to read and write. And guys, we're going to do this. But me in a Portland and the high school, them pop down and mash up. They send all of the picnic them say a bad picnic who have ADD, ADHD, and all problems. They send them to Fair Prospect High School. And me, yeah, I sat Buchanan, happy, adopt the school, have to make sure, say, me, have to ensure, say, I paint the school, ordering the desk and the chairs for the school. None of this is for political mileage, I'm telling you this. Education is important to me. The one thing I never want to do is have a conversation with a young person and then not have a clue what I'm talking about. And them not have them rubles and them marbles together. And them sound like a big dummy. It is offensive because the potential, I'm telling you something about the potential of the black man. It's sweet. Education nice, you know. When I say reading is fundamental, it's nice. And I had reading day at Fair Prospect High School. And I read to those students that they say they were troubled kids. And they retained the information. They knew the stuff. And they simply said, nobody care about us, so we don't participate. That is a systematic failure for people who want to be great. For people who want to be doctors and lawyers, but are told that them for make sure, say, them can get a work in a one bar. Or them can look forward. We're gonna bring call center so you can get that. So we can remain rich and you can just from paycheck to paycheck. Not remembering that it was on this platform that I said to you, to be a human being in Jamaica, you must now make $650,000 because the dollar raise a month. Each person must make that. And if you're not making that, you're not a human being. Under the index that they say we don't have unemployment because it's low. The poverty rate gone down. Everything are raised, everything gone up. Prosperity there. Jamaica is going good. But the people are suffering. The people are struggling. all at the same time, the people are losing the very thing that keeps them going. That is the beaches and the trees and the access to spaces so them can scream out, bawl out, like them would have said. So them can feel nature that is preserving their sanity. Because life is that hard. And the things you like are the basic things that could get you to be okay. Because I'm not saying that everybody must be a millionaire. I'm saying that nobody should be poor. It's a different thing. Yeah? And note, I'm still in shock and awe. You go into the court and them still locking up people for marijuana. And no matter how you tell them that if it wasn't for Mark Golding who decriminalized, and if it wasn't for Mark Golding right now that's telling you, yo, your love rub out your hand, Michael, but I gotta make sure say you can plant without them lock you up. You can grow the marijuana for your use, for your production, so to be a part of an industry where white people are the big successors of it right now. A snapshot of what slavery was. I was on the internet and I saw somebody saying that one summer the school, I'm not going to call out the school and I'm not going to call out the state, but they sent the kids onto a cotton field and they give them the bags and say you can pick as much cotton as you want, a farm, a plantation. And when they finish picking the cotton, they say, guys, turn in your cotton, and that was the field trip. Not realizing that it was simulated slavery. And I'm saying we must emancipate ourselves from simulated slavery. That is my charge. That is what I'm saying. We must become a part of society. We must wake up and realize that we cannot be excluded from a country that belongs to us. Yes, Black Latin, they tricked them to pick the cotton. And they got the parents to sign off to say they're going on a field trip. I know it wasn't cotton candy. They took them in the fields in the hot sun to pick cotton. So it is they will tell you that they're giving you jobs and this is what you must do. But if you wake up in the morning and you have to pay your bus fare, feed yourself, and let me tell you something, food security is so important. What you eat between the time you wake up and the time you sleep includes something called proper nutrition. So when you start to see young people running around and them have cancer, yeah, them rum and boom out the whole of them inside. Rum and boom, liquor. And then you smoke and you drink, then you don't have to worry about being hungry. Because the drink and the alcohol suppress the hunger that you would have when you're smoking. And all of a sudden, everybody look like them want dip on some Louis Vuitton and Chanel runway. Everybody maga down like supermodel. And people think that is okay. It's malnutrition. And no, they're gonna maga people gonna say you're bad mind because your belly big. My belly big because Miss Barbara food nice. Food in Portland nice. Shout out to Big Youth, your food nice too, but Portland today, Portland where I do it right now. But the point I'm making, and I want people to appreciate and get that, is that we cannot hold on. Yeah, the point I make in somebody says I'm not supposed to laugh. I said, oh, walking with divine purpose. Welcome back. Yeah, and that's it. So that's the marijuana aspect of it, and then we have the food security aspect, which is so we must be able to grow our crops and it must come to production, reap it, and then have it for our own purpose as well as the ability to sell it to make money and to participate in food security. Yeah? This is very, 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 very important. And so when we start to think about food security, people are ignoring because we're cursing. People saying, PNP, what you gonna do for the people and what's the policy? Well, we told you. We're not gonna give the labor right friends the contract to put food, Nutribon, and pink syrup, bulk syrup, and dirty milk for it to be a meal for children. We're gonna give them proper meals. Because I don't know how people learn from empty stomach. And I dunce them dunce, I hungry them hungry. Not to be confused with people who are members of parliament who eat really good, but them just don't have no aptitude. Them not no ruleables. Yeah? Them not no substance in them brain. And them want to come chat up them want chat off them face. They get access to platforms and they come on the platform and a bare chat them have. And anything behind the chat is just wickedness, rape, murder, and them favorite word, bad mind. Yeah. Because their minds are bad. And here I was all this time thinking they were just educated fools. But their minds are bad. So they say everybody bad mind. Try know that. So when I say education is the great divider, I always come to Brown Book, you know. Are you there work when me there Brown Book? You see how life funny? When they say education, when I say education is the great divider, them behave like me not fair talk about education. I see people saying where him get money to keep picking the tablets. Him a drug dealer, we need to go check it. I see it. Because they don't want the children to get the tablets. Yet, the parents are cussing about the tablets because they want the tablets. Right here, because they don't watch Context Matters because they don't want to get an education. So they don't realize that is right here. So on Context Matters, I say to my contextualizers, run the tablets and donate right here. Walking in the divine purpose. Put up the tablet drive for me. Make them go to the GoFundMe and show them how we get the tablets to the people. Pick me them. Because they don't want the children to learn. Because when the children realize that they are educated, and you hear it all over the place. I'm campaigning and everywhere I go from Manchester to Montego Bay back. Them say, what do them MP? That MP can't read and write. That MP dunce. I don't know what this can't be work. And who that? Yeah? That's the most important thing. So for me always trying to ensure that children have a good mind. Children have a productive space and environment. Society becomes great because the people who are in it are good. That is what I want. And I am happy that the young lawyers that work with me, for me, beside me, taught by me, are greater than me. Shout out to Alessandra Labiche and Iqbal Chevalier. Bright lawyers, brighter than me. Because that is what we want for our country. So when you can bad mind ISAT all you want, you can't stop the many that follow behind me that are greater than me. Right? So I'm just making that. So while it is that I call for education and opportunity, and our education system is failing our youth. The youth, they're not duds. Education is failing them. But let us pause for the station break on Reggae Global Radio.
That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way.
So that's it. And wanting people to understand that, yeah, while it is that we are calling for education, we're calling for food security, we're calling for access to opportunities, and even calling for a revamp of the education, the health system. And I tour Port Antonio Hospital, demanding on the government to ensure that it becomes an A-type hospital. I see the health minister now say, oh, operating theaters, we're fixing that, and we're building 60 new hospitals all over Jamaica, and all the things that they say they're going to do. And let me tell you something, they're not do it. If them never thief all of the money, these things would have been done. And there's a song by One Republic. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. It's too late to be going on like you. You no need to do it. We will do it for the people, because we are for the people. So let's know this, that the national in PNP is nation. It's the people's nation, you know. And so all the agendas are national. And I'm saying this because we're standing on principle. All of these anniversaries that you see coming up, the 30-year anniversary, this institution is 70-year-old, this institution, NHT, this. Our PNP create all of that, you know. Yeah? So all of the people all of the people will love to talk about the 18 years of PNP, and them won't release the FinSac report that were paid for. They don't release it, and they don't release it now because the truth is in the report, and they need to leave the ad hominem attacks. But let us not forget that all the achievements of the People's National Party, the anniversaries came from them. I am in a constituency where the Jamaica Labour Party since 1962, having members of parliament that were Jamaica Labour Party members, are only 11 houses built. And the current MP, who is my opponent, my very, very, very white, rich opponent, let me raise it like that, the opulent, superior opponent that she is in all her financial greatness, has not built one house in her 2 terms, in her 2 times going to the polls. Not one house for a human being. And if you want to know how you think about people, just look where you put them to live. If you put them anywhere at all. Yeah? So when me did young, me used to watch The Wizard of Oz. And let me drink my pure water. Because I just water you did have a dash from the Wicked Witch. Just water. So yeah. The one thing I can tell you, me advocating for homes for young people, for me have a big relationship with the rafters. because them rob them of pension and opportunities and them want to retire. Them too have to live somewhere. So we have to make sure that them get house too. 76 of them. So here it is, you have an MP that don't build one house. Not one house. Don't build back the market, and you have a whole foundation in the name of the market to rebuild the market, and it not build back yet. And when me say I gonna put light in the little light catch around there and then take it back. It's not take it back. I don't know nothing that. But anyway, Tom is drunk and Tom is not fool, and I'm not talking the one that is in the Senate. Shout out to senior counsel. I hear your son I gonna get a seat in a St. Andrew. Dwayne Smith, how you looking over there in your seat? You think you're gonna go on the poll? Asking for a friend. Anyway, and yeah, Wizard of Oz, follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. But what I can tell you, you see, when the Impi Skumpi is done, and when the rain start fall and the water run down and all of that, still no catchment for waters, still down in Fairy Hill, water salty. Yeah, like a sweat when you bathe. Just know, say, you must want better for yourself. You must deserve more. You must live in 2025. This year, may I call it, and experience what it is to be a human being. You must experience. Somebody say carpet stink when it wet. Probably why they have to always fold it up and dash it out. But that made me laugh in there today. Yeah, but calling on people to say you must know what it feel like to experience brother, why you just go on a back road and go and sell and come off of a life plank? Why you don't do that? Anyway, yeah, you must be able to experience and feel what it feels like to be a human being. And that is to experience basic human dignity, the respect that comes with being the citizen of your country, understanding that the least among us has value, be treated like the gems of the Caribbean that we are, be treated like the popular nation that we are in the world, where everywhere in the world we go, people love us. That is something that is of great importance to us, for us, by us. And I keep on saying that because we oftentimes give away that which belongs to us. And so there's no forgiveness when the Prime Minister disrespects the Maroons. There's no forgiveness when they bulldoze your homes and say that squatters mustn't live nowhere and come off of the people them land, while their friends are allowed to adverse possess property. Especially when we knew that they did that because when they destroyed those homes in Bernard Lodge, it was because the wife had property there that needed development, and friends and family, and how they treat people, how they had locked up people in the states of emergencies. We mustn't forget. And then here we are in 2025, and they said we're bringing down the murder rate by murdering who we believe to be the murderers, even though the court don't have the power to put anybody to death. But because we don't appreciate humanity, and we don't understand what it is to be a human being in a society that has discarded the human, a society that's discarded you if you're not rich. Yes, this is something that I want people. I'm not just talking, and I'm standing on principle, because I don't compromise humanity. I stand on principle and inviting people to know that that's doing the right thing means that you do right by the people, especially when you're being called to service or you put yourself up for service. So when people say to me, I'm doing it now, but when people say, I said, why you don't block people when they're talking? Because I put myself up for service. I put myself up in the public space. So anything that is said, I have invited that. Invited it in terms of allowing ad hominem attacks to come my way because I'm doing the right thing. And once you're doing the right thing, the naysayers will surface. And I check for myself just in case you never know. The same people that said that I would lose the cartel case and that I'm an idiot lawyer is now telling me stick to law because I cannot beat a rich woman. Stick to law because I'm a white woman. How dare me go up against a white woman? Stick to law because rich, you're broke and you're bright fair go up against rich people and you're niggerize Portland. How dare you come and niggerize Portland? So I am experiencing the disrespect and I am experiencing the discrimination. I am experiencing that. And every time just coming from let me just put this out there, coming from labor rights, every time they get an opportunity to text, they say we want to trim the Rasta boy. These are identical words like when you're in America and a white person call you Nigga. They call you a Rasta boy because they have a history of any time they see a Rasta man stand up to Babylon, they want to trim him and kill him. And it's no wonder because I am in a space where rape and murder is their mandate. I'm in a space. Remember, I've never been accused of rape. Never been accused of murder. No blood is on my shoulder. I'm just saying that. And so when the labor rights come out and say, we are going to trim you, and people have to say, be careful, them wicked. They want to cut your hair off and they want to take away your dreadlocks. Yeah, they want to Delilah you. Yeah, and when they can't beat you, they want to murder you. And so the people who are scared for your life because they know when they can't beat you, they don't join you, they murder you. And they think it's okay to call you a Rasta boy and invite you to trim your locks. Black people, you know, in defense, I'm telling you, I'm not pulling a race card, but I understand classism. And I recall that the party that they stand for, Buster Manti invited them to bring harm and to hurt Rasta man and black man. Black identity. In Jamaica, there is nobody that represents black identity more than me in an intellectual space. When I walk into the courts appreciate and respect that a brilliant black man who wears his dreadlocks and walks in the halls and precincts of this court and stand up for justice. That is me. And they want to cut it off because they want to compromise. They know that I stand on principle. So yes, when somebody says, why would you be a PNP and Mark is white? But Mark love black people. Mark stand up for Rastafari. His Mark say we have to stop lock up the Rasta man them and we have to stop abusing people for their choice to smoke marijuana and change the law because he had the power to do so as the Minister of Justice. Don't ever forget that. And furthermore, While it is, as I said, I would have battled a case where Mala, who was the Attorney General, and they moved her after the case. I want you to know that. She is the Attorney General. Andrew Holness is the Prime Minister. And if them get the chance, them not like Rasta people, and don't be tricked, Terry Long is not a Rasta. And I don't have to say anything more than that. Don't be tricked. We are not the same. Don't be confused. And I say that with the greatest of respect as the son of Big Youth, who is the first Rasta man for grace the stage within dreadlocks. Yeah, can't take that away from me. So you must know, love who love you, respect who you respect, who respect you. None of them. I haven't met one person on that side who have any respect for Rasta. Even the gender minister and whatever, she doesn't respect the culture. I'm telling you that. She said nothing and did nothing in her power and capacity. And in fact, the system destroyed Nzinga and allowed them to say she cut her own hair when they knew that the labor right police cut off her hair to take away her strength and her courage and embarrass her. So I don't take it lightly. So when you think sometimes that the words don't have words have meaning and thing, but they think it in their spaces and they talk about it. They sit in their little war room, right? And speak about how to cut down. But look for yourself. When I look at the candidate Rasta, and I look how much the Rasta and see how much Rasta, how much dreadlocks, representation of dreadlocks in Mark Golding's future government. Of course there is pride because black identity is present. And let me tell you this. Being in government and just because you get to put on the colors, you're over there with your black self and you have on your green, you think you arrive and you're not representing blackness, you're not representing the people, you're not a role model. Yes, you are not a role model to the people. You set no example. You're over there, you beat woman, and it's okay. It's okay to beat your woman as long as you're married her. That's not okay. Not in a space where domestic violence is rampant. Any judge that sits at the parish level can tell you. No, and I can tell you, yeah, I too, learning from the DPP, I have read it right now as a kid. There is not one word in the English language or patois. Shout out to Angela Brown-Burke for advocating to make patois a language, because that is the language Jamaicans speak, and we are a great nation that can put to the world and put in our universities our language and culture so people can understand us and not misinterpret. Very important. And then we can separate and people can finally see that. Don't make them call you dunce because them dunce. Some of them have all the opportunities in the world and them still not cut it. And the opportunities deprived from you. So I go around my constituency day in, day out, and I can tell you the most valuable lessons I learn is from people that experience life, hard life at that. People who were given broken promises and tricked their whole life, but their loyalty and their love for the people and love for country caused them to continue to stand on principle. So those are the people who they can come out with all their money and whiteness and buy. And remember, this is a public service announcement. Don't make nobody pay you for your vote, because when them pay you, you can't show up at them office and beg them nothing, because them are going to say, "I pay you already." On top of that, it is illegal. But we are at a place where we are fighting for our constitutional rights. We are at a place where we are respect ourselves, because the people who we put in government, they don't respect us because they think they're better than us. And you hear them, they say, you can't go a garden house. You can't go. You're not them class there. You would never go there. Those are the words that they speak, because somebody told them that for some strange reason politicians are better than them. The lies that they tell, the disrespect that they show people, and they reduce people to begging. Yeah? Reducing people to begging what is theirs. And that is all I will say when it comes to standing on principle versus compromise. So much so that the devil, when he was tempting Jesus, when he was in the wilderness, was promising what he already owned. Promising you what belongs to your father is the type of trickery and buffoonery that takes place. Yes? And so we must never, one thing I can tell you, and this is what my father teach me, the truth is the truth, and it's not an offense. Offensive, yes, but it's not an offense. It's not an offense in law. So if I tell the truth, nobody can say I am bad mind. So if you're a government that's riddled with corruption, and we know the scandals don't go away from Petrojam to Ministry of Education to having to try to justify wastage that takes place at Cornwall Regional Hospital, to dead baby scandals that you don't have to count for, to deaths that took place in COVID. All of that is from just speaking on health. To wastage from the states of emergencies and the Nestle scandal, to the scandal that has come when we have to deal with how many persons are going to be paid from what? Extrajudicial killings, states of emergencies. Yes? All these things are real because there are persons who don't stand on principle. And why I repeatedly speak of the extrajudicial killings, because the people who are carrying out the killings put themselves at risk. Because the system will always divorce itself from you. Any institution that is under attack will divorce itself from the individual, because the institution, like companies, have separate legal personalities and do not wish to be tainted. And you must be prepared to do that. Yeah. And so look, let me just give you a simple reality. Road traffic, we fix the roads and we make them smooth and we make the cars go fast. And we issue license. Some people buy it. Sometimes you have to buy it because they won't pass you unless you buy it. And you might not be a very good driver, and you get the car that you probably have insurance, and you get a car loan to have. And you're up and down on these very fast roads, highway, with no driving experience, and then your life is taken. This is just a part of life. But why do I speak of it? Because there's nobody even educating people to say that, cars may not be safe in reference to the road and the this and the second-hand cars that come into the space. Do they have airbags, and are the airbags functioning? Kind of like, they must say a bad mind, but the crash history of the bus and the school bus, and why they stop them and discontinue them in America is of serious concern. But if you're rich and your children don't take bus, you don't have to worry about it. And so when you want good, for the people of Jamaica, you would go straight to the commandments. You do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Love thy neighbor as thyself. What that simply means is, if me now put my picnic them under certain conditions, I should never want it for other people. So yeah, go back to the food. If my children are going to these schools and the school is providing meals, what would I want them to eat? And proper nutrition means that if I'm not looking, them not giving them anything that would make them sick. And if you're a me, you can't send them go to school because pork them are give them for eat, and with fire bun, fire for the pork. Yeah. No security go back me up on that, but Basel and cast them pork, fire. But anyway, yeah. So even that is important, and we constantly think about that, and then we process it just basic after that. Here, walk in the divine, talk about pork nice. Now pay you no mind, now look for you, none at all. Hold on. Yes, there we go. My apologies. Yeah. So in a nutshell, somebody said Boston, big up Boston. A Boston jerk pork, they want to tell me about, not the jerk chicken. Them sell conch up there too, So why you gotta go there? Why you gotta go there? Yeah. So when we look at those things, we have to process about what we want for our nation, what we want for our kids. And so you ask a politician, like a Flavor, she wants you to be in a pro box. So she wants you to drive a particular car. But I mean, I don't drive cars, I drive Jeep and van, a SUV. So yeah, what you want for the people, you want them to have an experience safety, and you want them to be able to experience a life that includes being a part of the human race. I'm gonna say it like that. So the thing about compromise is that the current government want you to compromise. And to compromise, they want you to not stand on principle. Is it okay that all things promised in the last 2 terms was not achieved? They cannot say, I promise you this and I deliver. They didn't. In fact, they're saying we're in the works now with just a start. And that is a reality. Yeah? And I don't have to throw con and throw my word and get into no tracing match with no idiot. He's not an idiot. So I want people to know that. So a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as a foundation for a system of belief or behavior or for a chain of reasoning. That's principle, right? And we must stand on principle. I'm going to say it again, a fundamental truth. We must stand on the truth, what is right. And a system, a proposition that serves as a foundation for a system of belief or behavior or for a chain of reasoning. So let's talk about the fundamental truth, right? Let's talk about the ethics, the fundamentals of Jamaican society. We're not even going to get into with the first 100 days because not even 100 days left for election, and them are trying to do everything within that time. And them trying to say them a finish road and them doing all of this, so them say I give you a road. While all of the internal roads and all of the places where people live get mash up and logo all across the island. And then they say, let's face it, a PNP fault. When in the last 20 years, you've been in power for 15 years. But a PNP fault. Yeah? Always remember that. Somebody said November election I call. If November calling an election, then me good. Good. If that is the case, we don't have to say no more. Them not have to call election. Them can just hand over the keys to the People's National Party. But yeah, so when it comes to principle, there's only one thing. This government has failed the people. It has failed the people. And the people I'm talking about, is not the people that's living off of taxpayers' money from the corruption that's taking place now. So there are people who blogging and making videos and doing all of that. And they're doing it because they are benefiting, they are being paid, and then get land and then get to bill and then get them things passed. Right? And so so somebody said they lie to you so they can get rich off of you. Yes? And so when people are in that space and they can't stand on principle, so they do what is compromise. And the people who compromise, they compromise their integrity, they compromise justice, right? They compromise they do all of those things, and we have to make sure that we have to always make sure we always have to make sure, right, that the concessions we make, because let me give you the definition. An agreement or settlement of a dispute that is reached by each side making concessions. When somebody asks you to compromise your integrity so that we can all get along, let's make a compromise. The Jamaica Labour Party said, let's make a compromise and keep George right so that we can win a seat and win the next election. Let us compromise our integrity. Let us let down the Jamaican people and know that what we have done is wrong. And we know that we're not supposed to sanction domestic violence, but let us compromise. Let us compromise by pretending that the Prime Minister has his statutory declarations cannot be certified because of his inability to account. And yes, he hires his friend to watch over the FID because the Integrity Commission took some shots at me and I wasn't successful in the court. Let us compromise. Let us make concessions. Let us lower our standards. Let us defer our issues. Let us compromise the safety of the young men in this country by reducing the murder rate by just killing people we think are gunmen and criminals and call it targeted operation. Let us compromise the right to life. Let us compromise justice and presumption of innocence. Let us compromise by breaching the Constitution. Yeah? Let us do all of that. And then we take a good look at that and just continue to go down that word. Go down that road. Let us compromise freedom of expression. Let us compromise doing the right thing for intimidation and voter suppression so that the people who are raping the country continue to rape the country, and those who are living off of taxpayers' money and lack ability and aptitude can continue at the expense of finding the greatest among us. So these are the things that we're talking about when we say principle, standing on principle rather than compromising. And they want you to make a compromise. Look at the compromise they have made. Look at the way in which they have disenfranchised people by settling seats. Right? Somebody say imported foods are make we hear gray fast, Isan. There's an assumption. I love how, and let us take issue with our realities. Yeah, because I get a lot of flack for wearing my gray hair, but people want me to compromise and pretend that I'm not 46. It's interesting. And so I must reduce myself, yeah, and make concessions to pretend that I'm a young person. And then they have a problem and they say, why are you so wise, Isaac? Then as a wise man, my gray hair must come to the forefront. Boy, I tell you, life is funny. Okay, but I tell you, you can't please them all. But yeah, the reality is that making it clear the beauty of doing the right thing. Yes, win some 46 already. You see how time I fly? Thank you. The same fit me. Yeah. Somebody a firebomb KMC become a firebomb the court. Yes, 1978. But yeah, I think that in short, we must just rethink what is it that we want for Jamaica. And it's a simple answer. So while we have this conversation, we think about the spaces and not be distracted. For instance, the removal of the Contractor General as a member of the Integrity Commission is a travesty of justice. And while it is allowed to happen, if you are okay with that, you're saying you're okay with corruption. if you're okay with corruption, then you don't want Jamaica to reach first world status. You don't want Jamaica to be a Singapore. And Singapore used Jamaica as the model to be great. I said, yeah, I keep saying contractor, but it's auditor general. Thank you. And yeah, the thing about it is I tell you a joke about that. The auditor general is she sits in her space and she do her work, and no one can say anything about her because she crunch the numbers, she do it right. And you see when you're doing the right thing and they can't attack you, they still have to find a way. They can't remove her. They can't bring her down. And so what they have done is find a way to not include her. And that is how you disenfranchise the people. Because somebody who is there to make checks and balances for the politicians. Right? Somebody said the term third world is no longer valid. Well, let me tell you something. That's the thing about words, and that's the thing about PR. You call it middle income country, but it's a third world country. If you want to change it because it's politically correct, yeah, and it's more palatable. That is our problem, because they said you must talk about slavery, just talk about a bad past. Let us not think about it. And they even make books and rob people of their past and their identity. And we must speak about that. Whether Jamaica is seen as a republic or whatever Jamaica is seen as, I want to know the quality of life for the Jamaican people. Jamaica is not Jamaica without the people. And that is where people have misled themselves or is being misled. I cannot stress any more than that. I cannot go any further than to say that whenever it is that we start to think about what we want for our country, is to ensure that we include the citizens, and to do that, we have to make sure that they have access. Now, if I am wrong, which I know I am not, then correct me. Yeah? Correct me if I'm wrong. Any one of you? Somebody said that Elsa was his last straw, and now he's grasping for air. Whenever it call all fruits ripe, clean. Ah, yeah, that's that. And I believe so. So I have watched I've watched how people respond to speaking the truth. The response to you speaking the truth is shut up, third term. Where I tell you all of this for third term loading. That's a fanciful idea, because I can tell you about the facts. You see, Kai, I'm glad somebody taught you how to spell third here, but now you get a block for that. Anyway, what I'm happy about to tell you is I'm not even going to go through the back and forth about choosing Jamaicans, because choosing change means you choose the people. And they said choose Jamaica. Well, all they're saying is choose the Jamaica Labour Party, because otherwise, if you choose the people, you have to choose the People's National Party. It's a play on word, you know. They say choose Jamaica, they're really saying choose the Jamaica Labour Party. Because if you choose people, you choose the People's National Party. It's a play on words. They're not talking about Jamaica land we love. They're just talking about Jamaica Labour Party. So what I'm telling you is choose change. Choose the people. We're rescuing Jamaica. Because one thing I can tell you, me are no thief, and them can't say the same. Yeah, we're done. But yeah, when the police report come out, I'm gonna say the third term disappear in nearby bushes. Yeah, don't ever forget that. And so I want to thank everybody for joining me. I want to thank you all for listening to what I had to say today. It is important that when we live our lives, we do so with what is known as an internal locus of control. Right? And through that internal locus of control, what that means, your integrity is not compromised. It means that you don't worry about what the outside world thinks. You're not influenced by negativity. You're not. People can't fool you up with gas. People can't gas you. People can't put a battery in you and rile you up to the detriment of you and the people around you. Mature consideration is a part of being self-sufficient. Human autonomy, yeah, is the bedrock of being a part of society and capable of making decisions on your own. So when somebody asking me what am I going to do, I can tell you my opponent is doing nothing to advance the life of the people. What I have done already, and I am not in government, is to give access to the future of Jamaica, to technology, to self-respect and self-governance, to be able to participate in an education system that is failing, but using it to the best of your ability so that you can be the best versions of yourself. What I bring to the table is justice. What I bring to the table is empathy and love and compassion. You can't win. Money can't beat none of those things, you know. Money can't bring none of those things. So while I bring education, they cannot. You have to have it to be able to bring it. When I tell you about self-respect and humanizing the individual, I bring that. They can't. They can't bring you the Constitution. They don't know what's in it. You have to be able to read it and understand it to explain it to somebody else. So while they're busy taking your constitutional rights, I'm defending it to make sure that you get it. This is just a reality. I am just responding to what is being asked of me. And so the things that they can't take from me, yeah, is that I'm not fake. No part of me is plastic. No Botox. Nothing. I'm 46. I ain't using Viagra. I'm just letting you know. I gotta raise that because don't size up with me. You see me? But more than that is to let people understand and appreciate that when somebody say what you bring to the table and what you're gonna do for me. I'm gonna rescue you. I'm going to teach you what it is to be a human being. I'm going to allow you to somebody laughing. I'm just the truth. I think I'm telling people don't size up. You can ball out and you can chat up your mouth. But yeah, we are not the same. I've always learned to respect my elders, especially when you're putting them into retirement. So we just have to be real. That's where it is right now. But yeah, And so that's the good thing about life. But we must learn how to be selfless, not selfish. So the ability to be selfless and ensure that you uplift those who are around you. The ability to ensure that you make sure and ensure that the people experience a better life, and a better life is inclusion in Jamaica. Doreen, I go run West Portland. That's the misconception. My opponent is Anne Marie Vaz, not Darrell Vaz. So people need to always understand that. So whatever Darrell have to say, he needs to be saying that in the West. He's not my opponent and doesn't appear on the ballot. So while he spends his money to assist his wife, that his money and his influence can go but so much, because she have to go against a son of Jamaica, a real black man. She have to go against a Rasta man. And it can be very, very, very uncomfortable to have to go against somebody that you'd like to trim and you'd like to destroy, because it's the nature of that party. But as you know, it's all in life. I keep my head up, I keep the stripe. That's just the reality. So I fear not, because the Lord is my light and my salvation. So when the wicked and my enemies came upon me to eat up my flesh, always they stumbled and they fell, shattered and broken. Yeah, and I just saw it go. So people must never know that. And I must remind you, I've been here before, and that's why I stand on principle and can never be compromised. Integrity works that you do the right thing even when no one is looking. And that's really what it is. So when it comes to you see, let me tell you about the God that I serve, because I want people to understand this. The God I serve is powerful. And the power of my God is that he cut down my enemies every time. Every time. Every time. To the point where if I'm have to send a hurricane, I'm going to send the hurricane, and I'm going to keep all the people safe, and people going to wake up. Because when there is a cleansing that has to take place, no one can stop it. I'm all the way up. So that is just the reality. And I'm leaving context matters and ending it on that note, because the people are awake. I appreciate everybody from Hector's River, Manchaniel, all the way down into the valley, Port Antonio and Prospect Fellowship. I'm telling you, Fairy Hill, there's someone lives, so you know how that goes. Yeah, but appreciating the love that I'm experiencing in Portland. I'm a spoiled, you know, so when I say me now get the love, them I give me the love, but I need more love. Just love, just love, just love. Because love conquers all. And the wave is serious. Let me tell you about the wave. The love is so much that it spill over into the west. Yeah? And you see Isaac and Doreen, boy, I tell you. Anyway. Solid as a rock. Ashford and Simpson, Isaac and Doreen. So we bring the heat. But anyway, we will soon see. I just had to just throw that out there. So that's something that you can't beat. So when them come with them money, take it. Give me some. Show you what we could do with their money. That's how we do it. Because we don't take buyout. Yeah. And that's just the truth. And they don't like when you talk like that. They don't like it when I'm like this, you know. They don't like it. They don't like it when you get like that, because them say you bring you why you're so confident and why you're so aggressive. And then when you're not aggressive, them say, oh, you see it? What that now? But anyway, yeah, I'm saying it. Hashtag take it. You got money for me? Take it. I have a vote down there, you know. So if the MP want to come and give me some money, bring it, come. Because I now ask you, you can't buy me out. Because we not sell out, we vote them. What cargo there? Big up yourself. Yeah. So anyway, no. Their money is taxpayers' money. Taxpayers' money. Don't ever forget that. It's not blood money, it's taxpayers' money. When the corruption are run rampant and people are take side deals and back deals and come for collect, that's taxpayers' money. And so I take you again to God, Jesus in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, and the devil promising him everything that's his. Devil all tell him to jump off and see if God are gonna catch him. And that them I tell you, no, vote for your third term and see if God are gonna catch you. Yeah, vote for your third term. Give them a third term. Because God will get you through. But that is that. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm thanking all those who were on TikTok tapping up the screen and showing the love. Big up to all the persons who send me gifts. Kern, Labish. No, I say everybody may have all my glasses. So I want people to know that, yeah? And remember, you know, third term leaves Jamaica as third world, yeah? And anywhere there's a third world, there's a lot of third worms. So leave that out, because time come for Jamaica to move forward. Time come for Jamaicans to be included in the human race. Time come for the least among us to not live in Walla. Time come for the people stop sleeping on the road in a Port Antonio. Time come for that. Time come for people in the market to actually get customers. Time come for people in the craft market to have their goods sold. Time come for the Blue Lagoon and the parochial roads to be open and the security removed. It's not their road. It's not a private road. It's public road. Time come for the youths them right at Prospect Beach. Beaches from Long Bay and Manchineal, everywhere across some train line, anything. Time come for the people to enjoy what is theirs. Yeah? Just know that. And I said what I said. I don't care. I paint the town orange. Yeah. So let me leave it at that. Anyway, Reggae Global Radio. It was a vibe. We tuned in to the live. People on YouTube, always a pleasure. See you guys next week. Yeah. Next week, Thursday. For those of you on TikTok, I guess I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. But that's what it is. All right then.
Right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it straight. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way. It took some time to understand. Yeah. Just make a better way. Growing up ain't just a phase, it's reality. And sometimes it's hard to face the world with your head screwed on. But in time you will see, it comes naturally, like the hurt and the pain. It's a part of the game. It's all a part of life, to laugh and to cry. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep it stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. No, I heard them say life much better you live it your own way. But if you need a helping hand, just call on me, I will be your friend. And when it gets hard to face the world with your head screwed on, just tell yourself you can. And that's when you'll understand that the hurt and the pain, it's a part of the game. It's all a part of life, to laugh and to cry. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. You gotta keep on moving on. Don't let no one stand in your way. Gotta keep on pressing on. As we pray for better days, keep it moving. Moving to the next. When they try to bring you down, we gotta take it to the next level when they come around. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time for living a lie. Gotta keep it moving till you get it right. That's right, it's all in life. Gotta keep your head up and keep your stride. No time to be living a lie. You can make it if you try. Just keep your head up, yeah. Just keep your head up, yeah. Gotta keep your head up, yeah. Cause everything's gonna be alright.
Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head up.
Cause everything's gonna be alright.
Cause everything